Hey, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to welcome you all to our learning management system information session. I've got 10:06, so we'll get started in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Darren, sorry about that. How's it going?
Good, good. Glad you're here.
Yes, great to be here. And Jamie, it sounds like you tested your screen share, and maybe Darren, once you go through your slides, I'll just take over the screen share really quick, then I'll pass to Jamie afterwards, if that sounds okay.
Sounds good. Yep. We plan to get started right at 10:10.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started. Hey, everybody. My name is Darren. Most of you know me, but I am the LMS specialist for the Instructional Technology Office in Roanoke County Public Schools. And I want to welcome you to our learning management system info session. We're really excited today to provide you with this chance to preview the LMS that was presented to the board just a few days ago for the Board of Education for their consideration. Just a note that during the session, only the Q&A is going to be on, so feel free to post any questions you have throughout. I will do my very best to answer live, but we'll likely compile those and send those out to everybody so you can all see the questions and the answers that you all post. All right. So We're going to start by kind of getting into the LMS evaluation process. So during Dr. Bedell's listening and learning tours, when he first came into the district during his first year, stakeholder feedback indicated that there was a desire to reevaluate our current LMS and explore different options. So that was kind of the first step to get us kind of where we are now. 3 LMS vendors were reviewed, our D2L Brightspace, Instructure Canvas, and PowerSchool, Schoology from PowerSchool. Those were reviewed and scored in a multi-phase process. Before the evaluation process could begin, it was important that we determined our vision for an LMS. I'm just going to give you a second to go ahead and read through that slide. You can see those bold areas that really were a large part of the vision of what we wanted to have moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and continue because I want to leave as much time as possible for our live demos. So as many of you know from the board meeting the other night, the LMS that was chosen was Canvas by Instructure. The Canvas scored the highest in all 3 categories that were reviewed. That was functional requirements, technical requirements, and then we had vendor demos. During the sandbox phase, we had tasks were performed in Canvas, and many, right around 90 stakeholders from teachers, parents, students, central office staff. Canvas scored highest in most of those areas, and overall just super user-friendly was kind of the main thing that came back from that. So the priorities established by the strategic plan were a driving factor throughout the evaluation process. I'm not going to read through those. We just had a really informative session on our strategic plan and those priorities, but I'll give you a second to read through those. But just like in anything else that we're doing in our district, the strategic plan is the main driving factor for what we do. I think the future readiness is always the one that stands out to me, and getting our students ready for whatever they plan to do after school. Okay, let's keep going. So upon approval, the LMS Transition Steering Committee will guide the system through all facets of the process. So it's a huge undertaking, standing up a brand new system like this. So the work will be organized into 7 focus areas that will move together in lockstep for a seamless transition. Each focus area will be guided by a subject matter expert, something I just learned called a SME, SME. I like that term, it's kind of fun to say. With the supportive work groups that will include stakeholders like yourselves. So kind of the reason you are all getting this session today is we're definitely going to need you all in the schoolhouses helping drive this process forward as we implement this new system. A detailed professional development plan will be created by the steering committee and the stakeholders involved in collaboration with other experienced staff and our potential partner. I'll give you a second to read through the highlights of that professional development plan here on the slide. I'm sure you'll see some things that really stand out to you. I think that opportunity to explore during the 4th marking period, that's going to be a huge thing that a huge opportunity that we'll give to a lot of our staff. And also the paid professional development piece as well. Go ahead and continue. A detailed communication and support plan will also be created by the steering committee in collaboration with experienced staff. This will really help everyone involved will know exactly what's going on throughout the process. We will have access for students and families, videos and other resources, communication regarding how families can access the LMS, and really communicate the value of this system, this really one-stop shop we're hoping for everyone involved. So here's our implementation timeline. So upon approval, this timeline will be followed to ensure a successful implementation by August of 2025. So we are ready for that 2025-2026 school year. I know our next school board meeting is November 6th or 7th. So that will give us a November kickoff all the way up through all that professional development that's going to be going on in the early adoption toward the end of the school year, beginning of next school year. So now that you've had that overview of where we are and kind of how we got there, we want to give you the opportunity to see firsthand how Canvas could provide an improved user experience through some upgraded navigation, collaboration, and feedback features. I'm going to go ahead and just give you a second to review this slide. Under navigation, we have a dedicated Canvas for Elementary setting or experience that we have for our youngest learners. Collaboration, it's got 3 because I think it's a big one. It's something that we've all kind of been wanting to see improved, is super easy content sharing, user to user, course to course. Canvas Studio is super cool, allows you to create collections of media, interactive video, but also easily share that media and collaborate with that media. And then we have those Canvas Blueprint courses, which allow the kind of district level creators to push content down to courses throughout our system. And then our Canvas Speed Grader, super cool comment bank. And one of my favorite features is the feedback loop. So it's not just teacher to student, it's teacher to student, student to teacher. It's going to be, I think, great. So now, to give us a sneak peek into the system, I'm going to introduce our potential vendor partners from Canvas today. We have Jamie and Kevin, who are going to take you through the system, show you those highlights and those things that I just got to show you on the slide there, excuse me. And just remember, any questions, throw those in the Q&A. We'll turn the chat back on at the very end to post the form for attendance, so please don't leave without getting that. Someone please yell at me if I'd forget, because I'm known for that. But again, here's Jamie and Kevin, and I'm really excited to see what we see here.
Darren, thank you so much. My name is Kevin Killeen, and I am the director that oversees Maryland, and we are so honored and excited to be here on your eCoach Champion Day, and honored that you all would have us today. Jamie, do you want to introduce yourself as well, really quick?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Jamie, and I am a partner to Kevin and the districts throughout the state of Maryland. Prior to coming to Instructure, I was actually an educator myself, so I was a teacher and administrator. So I've likely sat in similar shoes of the meeting that you're in today as the district is making a change like this, and being one of those leaders within the district of helping embark on that change. So I'm excited to be here, and I'll be the one driving through our demonstration of Canvas today.
Thank you, Jamie. And before Jamie takes off on her demonstration, I just wanted to share a couple quick slides to help kind of orient and help introduce you all, not just to Canvas the product, but also Instructure the company, and hopefully introduce you all to what it's like working with us and our presence in Maryland. And really before I click through these, I just want to state that, look, our goal is to be one of the best ed tech partners that Anne Arundel has ever worked with. And we understand wholeheartedly that changing an LMS, it's not easy, it's not fun, and it's not something that people wake up, wanting to do every day. But we do this a lot, and we are really excited to bring our absolute best to Anne Arundel and deliver you guys an amazing experience through that transition timeline that Darren provided, and hopefully, give you all a lot of short-term wins, with Canvas functionality. Jamie's going to demo a lot of that functionality. Darren highlighted it as well, but then also give you all a lot of long-term wins as well. So, this is really our agenda. Yeah, Darren, you kind of covered this already, but just to give you more of an introduction into Instructure really quick. So we're the most used LMS in all of K-12. And in Maryland, we're used by a lot of school districts as well as the Department of Ed. Prince George's, Charles County, Howard, Harford, and Montgomery County, they all use Canvas and have used Canvas for a number of years. Oh, and Baltimore City, I haven't added them to the list, but Baltimore City has begun implementing Canvas as well, and they're on this list as well. And then also Canvas, maybe some of you all in the Zoom today or in the Google Meets today have used Canvas from higher ed or from college, and we're also the most used LMS in all of higher ed as well. So Anne Arundel Community College uses Canvas. I won't read the rest of the names on this list, but we're widely used in higher ed as well. We believe that a large reason why Canvas has become so popular and so widely used, especially in K-12, is because we really value openness and integrations with other ed tech companies. And PowerSchool is one of the companies where we have built a very robust integration with. And we understand that, through our evaluation, we've come to understand how important that is to the Anne Arundel community and to your teachers to have a strong integration with PowerSchool. I want to give you all assurance with this slide that this isn't an integration that has, been around for many years. We run this integration successfully today with hundreds of school districts. Some of them are very large, like Houston, Hamilton, Guilford, North Carolina, and, at the scale that Anne Arundel is as well. So we run this integration with large districts, and we have for many, many years. And part of this integration, teachers will be able to pass back grades from Canvas into PowerSchool. So this is, an area that we won't necessarily be able to demo today because we have to actually set up the integration in order to demo it, but know that this is something that we can do, and we're really excited to deliver for you all. And another component in terms of that openness that hopefully everyone can get excited about today is just our integration with other ed tech partners. We would call these LTI integrations, and the Anne Arundel team actually, as part of our evaluation, Darren and team did a wonderful job of documenting all of the, again, we call these LTI tools that Anne Arundel uses, and documenting, the tools that would need to be integrated into Canvas. And the good news is that, all of these tools we have pre-built integrations and partnerships with, except for Thunkable, which is in red. And that's one that we don't have an existing relationship and an integration on. But, really, again, Canvas is an out-of-the-box solution that is well integrated with a lot of Anne Arundel's ecosystem today. And I just wanted to cover these items over slides because, we're not going to be able to truly demo exactly some of the integrations if we don't have accounts for those companies. But hopefully that's something that, we can begin to get excited about. And, I just want to reiterate before Jamie takes over here, our goal is to really take the first step together in our partnership by getting everyone here, the eCoach Champions team, excited about Canvas. And that's really our goal today. So we're excited to show you a deeper dive of Canvas as Jamie takes over. We're excited to take all your questions and respond to those questions in the future. And we're excited to really deliver you all an amazing LMS experience. So thank you so much. Jamie, I'll pass the floor to you. And yep, I can see your screen perfectly.
All right, great. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. And as Kevin said, we're going to just take a sneak peek at Canvas today. And so we'll do that from a couple of different perspectives. The first being your students. What would the end users, your students, experience in Canvas? So when I'm logged into Canvas, where I'm starting on the screen right now is the dashboard. So this is where you're going to see, students would see all of the classes that they're enrolled in. So whether they're at the elementary level, and that's their different subjects, and we'll talk specifically about that elementary view that Darren mentioned, or whether that's a secondary student and all of the classes from PowerSchool that are on their schedule are on the dashboard. On the right-hand side, students also see some quick links, to-do list items. So these would be any of the assignments or activities that they need to turn in or participate in. They can also put their own items on there, as well as if they have any recent feedback from any of their teachers. They can also see all of the assignments as you'll look on the left-hand side. We call this bar across the left the global navigation. They have a calendar view that they can see that as well. But for the purpose of today's demonstration, we're going to kind of go middle of the road as far as grade level, just so that you can see the functionality of Canvas. So we'll jump into this physical science class. And before we dive into the content, I'll point out that now the to-do list is drilled down to just this class, that I can have announcements as a teacher, and that I can have a very visual and welcoming environment within my digital resources. So as a student, when I come in, I may know that every time I go to this week's work to begin on my lessons or units of what is supporting that in-person instruction. So we'll go through a few different elements of Canvas that are really important to note of just how you may be building the content for your students. The first being a Canvas page. So on a Canvas page, think of this as a place that you're going to put content for students to read, watch, or view, nothing for them to necessarily turn in. So on my page, you'll notice I have text, I have GIFs, I have images, and I even have an embedded video. This one happens to be from YouTube. But Kevin mentioned those over 900 different partners that integrate into Canvas. And so throughout this evaluation, your team has been very thorough in making sure that the district resources integrate and that it's very seamless, as Darren mentioned, that one-stop shop for your students, for you all as teachers and leaders, and for your community. One other item that we'll point out on the Canvas page here is a tool called Immersive Reader, and you may have used this tool in other applications. It's actually something developed by Microsoft, and it's embedded within Canvas for free. So anytime you see Immersive Reader, you can open that up, and there's different accommodation tools that are available for your students. The first being having the text read aloud. I can also go in and have some different text options. So for students that may need the text enlarged, if they need additional spacing, if they need a different font, or maybe they need a different color in the background for visual reasons, I can also go in and focus the line of text. I can enable a picture dictionary, and I can even choose a language to translate the text. So if I wanted to come in and maybe translate the text to Spanish, you'll notice I had to scroll for quite a while to get to Spanish, so there's quite a vast list of languages. It translates the text, and I can now have the text read aloud in Spanish. So lots of options within Immersive Reader, and that's something that's available throughout different areas of Canvas if you want to have that option for students. As students are navigating in Canvas, it's really easy. I can just click Next to get to the next item. And the next item that we come to is what we call Canvas Studio. So this was one of the items that was pointed out in the presentation of an interactive video tool for students. So being able to bring in videos that you've already created or videos that you're using from places like YouTube or Vimeo, you can really create options for students to interact, answer questions, and even put annotations within that video. So as a student, if I start playing it, you'll notice before I even get started, my teachers put in an annotation or something that I need to stop and pay attention to. So this tells me I need to get my science notebook, Google Doc ready. I even have a link. I can continue the video when I'm ready. And at any time, if I have a question, I can start typing and it will pause the video and drop in my response at the bottom. So beginning a threaded discussion. So again, you may have quiz questions that you want to build in. You also have options, and we'll look at this from the teacher side, of automatically translating the language spoken in the video. So for those videos that you've created and you want to have closed captions available, that's something that's available within Canvas Studio as well. And we'll also look at how students can use this tool to create evidence of their learning and turn in as assignments in Canvas. As we continue through the lesson, the next thing that we come to is a discussion. So this might be where you're posting a prompt for students. It can really include anything that you can think of in that prompt. So again, it could be pictures, videos, embedded links. It could have a Google slide deck that you're using as part of the lesson. Whatever you may want students to watch, read, or view before they post to that discussion. So as a student, when I click reply, this text box opens up for me and I have different options of how I can respond. So I can type in a response, I can come in and bring in a link, I can drop in a picture or a document, or I could even just use my camera to respond. So we see this a lot for our younger students that may not be able to type all of the words in a response, but they could record a video or audio file to be dropped into that discussion. So when I reply, I can see that discussion unlocked for me. My teacher had it where I had to reply first. And we'll look at some of the different options for teachers as well. And then lastly, when students are submitting that evidence of learning in an assignment, you'll see a screen like you see here, where all of the important information is at the top. When is this assignment due? How much is it worth? And where am I at in that process? So I can see that I'm in progress of this assignment. I can see any of the details that my teacher has provided about the assignment. Even if there's a rubric that's going to be used to grade the assignment, I can see that. And then at the bottom, I can see all of the options that I've been given for submission types. So this is something as you're designing those assignments, you can give as many of these options or as few as you would like. So we'll go through a few of the different options and what they look like. The first being just a text submission. So when I open that, you'll notice a text box comes up. It is auto saving. So if students are typing, maybe they don't have time to finish the assignment. When they come back, they won't lose their work. I have a media option, so I can record or upload media. So things that students are doing with videos or audio files. I can also just upload pretty much any type of file into Canvas that you can think of, or even just take a webcam photo. So if students are maybe solving a problem or doing something on paper or a whiteboard and they just want to hold up the whiteboard to the camera and submit that, they can. And then other options that we have that you'll see, Google Drive, Canvas Studio, and even Google Assignments can be integrated into Canvas. So really, as a student, it's very easy and user-friendly to navigate. And I also have, Darren mentioned that feedback loop between the teacher and student. So we'll look at that from the teacher side, but as a student, anything that I'm wanting to communicate with my teacher about this assignment, I have a feedback loop that I can type or even do video comments as we go back and forth. So with that, Kevin, we'll pause for just a moment and then we will move to the teacher side of Canvas. I know that there are questions that have been coming in, and I know as we mentioned at the beginning, those will be collected by the Anne Arundel team and responded to. But Darren, if there's anything that you would like for us to address throughout, just let us know.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move to the teacher side now. And Kevin, I'll do a quick screen check to make sure you can see that okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, great. So from the teacher side, we're just going to kind of look at the almost under the hood of the course that we just looked at for a student of what did it look like to create some of that content? How can I share that content and then provide feedback to students? So the first thing being that you noticed on the student side, I had a very limited menu. I only provided the options for students that I wanted them to have. So there's a lot of options for customization so that you can really design your class or course in Canvas to be just what you want your students to do. And so you'll notice I have a lot of these menu options hidden because they're not necessarily options I need my students to go to. Within the center of the screen, you'll see that home page that I had. And it's very easy. Anything that I want to create or edit in Canvas, I can simply just click the edit button to open up that page. It opens up that same type of rich content editor, that text box that you see in the middle. And I have familiar tools. So it's the same tools that my students have. I have access to that as a teacher. One of the things that we wanted to make sure to mention, knowing that we have secondary folks on the call, is the option to be able to have all of your different sections linked within a course. So if you teach 3 or 4 periods of the same class, you're not having to post the same resources 3 or 4 times. The other thing that we'll mention too is just how easy it is to share resources. So I'm going into what we call the module view. This is really where I have the content organized for my students. We worked through a module from the student side. Think of it as kind of a container of the content or information. So when I look at my unit 1 here, I have some resources that have been organized by day. And it's very simple to have items that are visible to your students. We call that published in Canvas, the green check mark. If it's unpublished, that means that students wouldn't see that. So as you're building content, you can choose when that's available to students, and it can even be automated as far as if you want it to open on a certain day or time. But one other thing that you can do very easily is be able to share content. So not only copying content to a course that you may teach, so maybe another class that you want to share something with, or I can simply just send this content to another teacher. So maybe I have a colleague that's also teaching the same physical science class, and I, say that maybe I have this unit that I want to just share with the teacher so that he doesn't have to create all of the same content. When I share that content, I'll get a little notification by my profile within Canvas that tells me I have shared content to review. So when that happens, I can see the content, I can preview it, and then if I like it, I can go ahead and just drop it right into my class. So very, very easy and simple to copy materials and to also share materials. So that can be done for a whole unit or module, or that can be done just for an individual item. Maybe there's one thing that you made that you want to share. Canvas Studio was one thing I know we wanted to focus on and talk about some of the options within the video. So as a teacher, and when I'm bringing those videos in, I have a library. You'll notice on the left-hand side of my screen, the Studio library is created. So giving me the option to have a collection of videos that I can add those annotations, I can add quiz questions on top of. But in addition, one thing that I see at the bottom that my students didn't see are insights on a video. So within any of the videos that you're using in your classes, I can see the insights of who's viewing the video, how long are they viewing it, and what are the kind of viewing patterns. So I can see, was this video too long? Everyone dropped off after a certain point. Or maybe do I need to put some quiz questions in a place that I'm noticing students are maybe skipping in the video? So I can see my unique viewers, my numbers of plays, and then I can actually go down to the particular viewer. So if I'm working with a student that may be struggling and I open up and see, okay, they've missed where really important content was in the video, or then they dropped off at the end, these were review items that they needed to go over, I might go back and say, take another look at this video. I can also download this information. So very simple to see the insights and just make sure that the video content you're using in your class is being engaged with in the way that you want it to be. And I also mentioned those closed captions. So I can generate the captions within the video so that when I'm coming in, I can turn those on. And those will play right alongside the comments that I have in the video. We'll fast forward just a little bit. So you can see those captions and how they're coming across the screen. So something that's automatically generated for you, but then you can tweak those captions if there's any words or any type of spacing or punctuation that you'd like to correct. And then lastly, one of the things we wanted to highlight is just the feedback loop and all of the feedback options that you have from the teacher side of Canvas. So I moved to what we call Speed Grader in Canvas. And within Speed Grader, I can see on the left-hand side an view of what the students submitted. So this could be a document. We'll look at a few different examples, but the first just being a document, so something that they're uploading. I can come in and I can do things like drop in a pin, I can highlight, I can also come in and annotate on top of that. And on the right-hand side, I can see over time if they submitted multiple times, I can see that information. I can also see if you're in a class that uses a plagiarism detection tool, something like Turnitin, I can see that information. And then if you're going to utilize a rubric, it makes it really simple. I can come in, I can see the criteria for that rubric, and I can simply just click through that. So if it does contain points, it will automatically be updating that score. And within each of the criteria in the rubric, I can also put in comments. So makes it very simple for clear feedback and grading. And then overall at the bottom, I can put in additional comments for my student. So if I wanted to maybe start, typing a comment, great job, you'll notice it's actually pulling a comment from what we call the teacher comment library. So as a teacher, I can come in and I can have comments. I think about this as the things that I was typing over and over for students, or maybe I had certain feedback in a Google Doc that I wanted to make sure to include, and I was having to copy it over. This gives you the ability to have comments in your comment library. You can even choose to show those suggestions when you're typing, but this is a huge time saver for providing that really specific feedback, but not having to type it every single time. There's some additional options for how you can provide feedback to students as well. One being text to speech. So if you're somebody that likes to use that, you have that ability in Canvas. So you'll notice as I'm talking, it's collecting my text and auto-correcting pretty well as I go. And so that feedback can drop right in. I also have the ability to do video feedback. So as I open up my camera, you can see my face right here, and I can also choose to screen capture. So if I want to look at students' work and maybe, be going over what I'm seeing on the screen with them, I can choose to do that. I can also choose if I don't want my camera enabled and I just want to give audio feedback, or even just drop in something that I may have already recorded. All of that can be dropped right into the feedback area in SpeedGrader. And then lastly, one thing that you may want to utilize is a reassignment. So maybe students turned in the assignment and they kind of missed the mark of what you wanted them to work on, and you want to give them another opportunity at the assignment. You can reassign it. It will put it back on their to-do list, and they can resubmit that for you. So as a teacher, it's really easy. I can just click to my next student, or I can go down the list to see who needs to be graded. Again, if you are a secondary educator, you can see that I have my different class periods all organized within one course in Canvas. So we'll look at a few different examples. The next being Canvas Studio. So I mentioned that not only can you use this as a teacher, but your students could use this. So maybe they've recorded something to submit evidence of their learning in an assignment. This time that feedback is flipped. So as you are watching the video, you can put comments in the timeline giving that specific feedback. And then on the right-hand side, you still have all of the same grading tools. So I can use the rubric and even provide the audio or video feedback. And then lastly, I can utilize the same tools with cloud-based assignments. So things that you may be doing from Google Drive. I mentioned earlier that Google Assignments work within Canvas. So if you're familiar with Google Assignments, where you are attaching some type of Google document that pushes a copy to every one of your students' Google Drives, that actually works the exact same way through Canvas, because Google built the integration for Canvas. So everything will be familiar, what you're used to, and will integrate wonderfully with Canvas. The last thing I'll mention, and I know Kevin mentioned this in the introduction, but is the passing of grades from Canvas to PowerTeacher Pro. And I think there was even a question about what does that pass back mean? It really means a grade sync of what you have in your gradebook in Canvas will sync to the PowerTeacher Pro gradebook, so that you're not having to double enter those scores. So what you have entered in Canvas pushes to the PowerTeacher Pro gradebook. It takes one extra step off of your plate. The last thing that we want to show is just what that elementary experience looks like. So I'll bring up just a preview of that, as well as the mobile experience in Canvas. Let me just adjust my screen here. All right. So one of the things in the introduction that was mentioned is just the flexibility of the Canvas for Elementary experience. So think of that as what we just saw, but really simplified and made more visual, specific to elementary learners. Actually, our product manager that managed this project was a former elementary educator herself. And so things that are really important for our younger students, as far as, even as simply as when students log in, they see their name. That's one of the first things that they are learning as they're learning to read. Making sure that the font that we use in Canvas for Elementary uses familiar text, so a single story A and G. Making sure that everything is reading left to right, buttons are put in the same place as students are learning those concepts of print. So when students log in, they see their homeroom really being that place where they can see an announcement from their teacher. This could be something that teachers post every day, something that they normally would put maybe up on the board in the classroom. So that could include videos, text, pictures, really anything customized that you want your students to watch or view. So on that homeroom, I also have, instead of my courses, I have my subjects. So these are going to be the subjects that you have your students in every day. I can also see a schedule. So think of this as kind of a visual of what you may put on your board as a daily schedule of what students are doing. So there may be different activities by subject or things that students may be working on in centers or small groups, and you could have that included here. We also want to mention the mobile application. So we've looked at everything from a computer today, but it's also important to note that Canvas can be used from a phone, from a tablet, or any type of mobile device. So something that you may want to check out after today are just the different mobile apps for Canvas. We have 3 specific apps, and those are really designed to fit each user and what they're doing within Canvas. So everything that we've done so far in the student is available in the Canvas student app. The teacher app will really see used a lot for grading and feedback on the go, but the one that we wanted to kind of showcase or show what it includes is the Canvas parent app. So this is where families are often engaging with Canvas. So within that parent app, I can have all of my students managed within one app with one login. So whether that's an elementary, middle, or high school student, even if they're at different school sites or campuses, I would be able to manage them all in one place. And when I have my students in the app, I can also manage what I'm notified about per student. So if I can choose to get notifications when their grade is above or below a certain threshold, and I can actually type in these numbers to change the notifications, I can toggle on or off any of these different assignments or announcements. So this may be something that maybe for one student in a family, the parent may say, I would like everything on. I want to get every notification possible. But maybe for another child that isn't necessary, or it doesn't go well to get all of that information, that you just may want to toggle on the announcements from the teacher or the school. So there's flexibility within that, making it really easy to toggle between my students, see their overall classes and grades, and see what we think of as kind of a view-only version of Canvas. So I can actually see the directions for the assignment. I can even set a proactive notification. So if I wanted to set a notification maybe a day or two before the assignment is due to check in, and then I can receive those notifications in different ways, like you'll see the push notification at the top of the screen. So lots of flexibility to make sure that Canvas is supporting all of your stakeholders within the district, including any communication that you may be having between families and school. So as they click on the little communication bubble within the app, it will automatically pull in the name of the teacher or teachers, and it will pull in the name of their student and what assignment or page they're on in Canvas, so that you have context of that message. So again, just trying to make it as simple to have that clear communication between home and school as we can. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And I know we had some additional kind of closing information that we wanted to provide, so I'll pass it back over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Jamie. Sorry, team, for this slow. So Darren, quick question on you for Google Meets. How do I share audio?
If you just share a tab, you'll
Okay.
get the audio as well.
Okay.
I believe it's the first option.
Okay. Understood. Okay, perfect. Thank you everyone for your patience here. So Jamie just walked through a demo. And the reason why I wanted to share my audio is we've got just a quick video to show you an exciting roadmap item that's coming in January that you all can take advantage of. And, you know, as we close out our presentation, we really just wanted to talk, again, high level about partnering with Instructure in a couple areas that, you know, if I were in your shoes, hopefully these are a couple areas that you all can get more excited about. And again, these are areas that don't, you know, we can't necessarily demo as easily. So let's just talk about support really quick. So something that will be part of our partnership is the ability for 24/7 support for all teachers at Anne Arundel. So that means you could pick up the phone, use web chat or email. And if, you know, as a teacher, if you all had a question that you didn't want to send to central office, but was just like a forgot your password and wanted to contact our support, we can help you there. Our support, however, I would also encourage you that support is also enabled in, you know, the pedagogy of using Canvas as well. So if you had questions beyond just the forgotten password, but wanted to understand even like best practices around a tool, function, or feature, our support can help you there as well. Another area as we talk about support, but maybe zoom out and not just think about phone and help desk support, but look at training and how we can support you from that perspective. Every eCoach champion and teacher, you will also have access to the training portal premium in your own Canvas environment. So this is just-in-time PD that you all can access. If you are logged into Canvas, it's on the left hand, we call that the global nav. So on the left-hand sidebar, under the help icon, you'll see where it says training services portal, and you can click into that. And beyond the training, the synchronous training that will be provided to you all as eCoaches, you can access asynchronous training in here. And there's different pathways that you all can select. So if you wanted to do a pathway in instructional design or a pathway in best practices for students or best practices as a teacher, there's bite-sized asynchronous training that you all can access and go through in your own time through the training portal. Another area to be excited about. And this is what we wanted to close on. And with this last slide here, I'm gonna share a video here shortly, but what we're showing you is a roadmap item that we're delivering in January of 2025, and that's the ability to use a block editor within Canvas. What gets me so excited about this is, like, this was not easy for our company to build. It was an extremely, you know, innovative feature that we delivered on. And, you know, as I show you all this video, I just want to encourage you all to, let me share this tab instead. You know, think of us as a partner that's really going to be innovative and invested in, you know, as new AI features come out, and, you know, as you all want to use the most modern and innovative LMS, we're a partner that's invested in delivering that for you and all of our customers. So here's a sneak peek at what the block editor will look like. This is essentially a tool that'll make it easier for you all as course designers and teachers to author content within your course. So I'm going to click play. Jamie, is there even audio in this video? I don't know if there is.
Yeah, we're not hearing anything.
There's not any audio in the
Okay.
video.
Oh, it's an audio-less video.
Yeah.
Well, I'll provide the audio then. You know, so what we're looking at here is, this is in the Canvas environment. As you're creating a page, you'll be able to, like, actually click through, you know, what are some basically templates for a page in Canvas. You can then select color palettes, font pairings. These will all be accessible. And then it'll give you some, you know, it'll basically create what you clicked. And then this is, because it's a block editor, like everything is essentially blocks, and you can drag and drop. You can switch content out. It's almost like using Google Slides, if everyone's familiar with Google Slides in a way. So the idea here is it's going to be a lot easier to create engaging content in Canvas that your students can engage with. And then on the bottom right here, there's, really some quotation marks from our customers that informed like how we built each feature. So that last quote was, hey, as a teacher, I want it to be easier to embed content into Canvas. And I don't want to need to copy, paste, and embed code every time I'm embedding content in Canvas. So the block editor makes things like that a lot easier. But hopefully that's something that you all can be excited about. Jamie, is there anything I missed there, just feature functionality-wise, that you wanted to fill in from the block editor?
I don't think so. I think, that's one feature as we've worked with the Anne Arundel team that they're very excited about that's coming in the future. And I think that's just one example, as Kevin mentioned, how we continue to innovate, and Canvas in and of itself will continue to evolve to be that best learning tool for teaching, learning, and assessment for your team. So just know that there'll continue to be new features added and things that go beyond what we even saw today.
And I just provided a link to that video in the chat, so you all can watch that without my accompanying audio. But that's, everything that we prepared. Darren, we're happy to, if there's more you want us to highlight or kind of talk through, or even cover some high-level questions, like we're happy to today with this group. If not, we're happy to give you back, I believe, 10 minutes. But Darren, to give you the floor back.
All right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That was I think that's a great first look into Canvas and gives you kind of that high level overview of everything that can be done. I appreciate the block editing too, for those of you who are currently using Creator Plus elements in your content. I think that'll be it'll be nice to have that if you are a current user of that. I've mentioned in the chat, I did my best to answer some of the questions that I could just answer, very quickly. I also posted that, some of the things I'm going to have to go back and get some answers to, or do a little bit of research. Like I'm still learning like the ins and outs of the platform. So Morgan and I will definitely be looking into that and posting the questions. We have three more of these sessions today, so I anticipate some of the same questions will be answered. So I want to be able to kind of put those all into one good FAQ for all of you to review as a team. I know there were some questions about PowerSchool. PowerSchool will feed Canvas, so however you're scheduled in PowerSchool, you will get those students in your courses that you're scheduled for in PowerSchool. I know there was a Triple E and media question, elementary. That is still going to be, I can't answer that still. We may be in the same boat as we are now with our current LMS, just if it's not scheduled in PowerSchool, it's not going to be easily brought over into Canvas, but we might have some solutions since we have a new partner and they may have some ideas for us. So not to put them on the spot here or anything like that. Yeah, there was a couple questions. Yeah, Canvas is as long, pending the board approval, school board approval on November 7th. Canvas will be our LMS moving forward. I'm just looking through some of the Q&A here. Talking about curriculum. Yeah, curriculum, and about being able to push content. So I did mention in my slide deck, and that'll be shared with everybody, but we do have the ability to create blueprint courses, which allow content to be created and attached to other courses or synced to other courses. So that content that's created in a blueprint course can almost automatically become part of the synced courses. So if we create an Algebra 1 blueprint course, any Algebra 1 course can have that content available. You don't have to use it, but you can use it. Some of it can even be locked by the district, so you have to use their version, or others, it can just be ready for you to use as you see fit if you want to make some edits to it. So we will kind of be making those decisions as we work to implement. And again, I apologize, I can't answer every question just because we're at we haven't even technically started implementation yet. So there are a lot of questions to be answered. What can we do moving forward? I think the possibilities are not endless, but we have a lot of possibility as we move forward with how we use our new system. So with all that being said, I did post the attendance form in the chat. I know we're about 5 minutes early, but I definitely want to thank our presenters. I really feel like you all got to see a really good, really nice preview of what we're going to have and what we'll all be able to do with this system, and some of the really nice the features that we all want and need in an LMS. Yeah, Lori, you have a question? I thought I saw a hand up, sorry. So again, yeah, it looks like you all got a couple minutes extra to transition to your next session. Please don't forget in the chat to fill out that attendance form. Just we need that for paying substitutes and things like that. So we appreciate you filling that out. We'll definitely post everything in our community, so you all have access to it in the coming days. So again, thanks for all the really good questions. A lot of them made me think. It's like, yeah, we do need to know that. So I appreciate that very much.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you, Anne Arundel team. And we're looking forward to helping answer those questions and just giving everyone an amazing experience with Canvas if it gets board approved in November. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, I might be reaching out on a few of them. I already saw that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Darren, this might be more of a question for you, but when they start rolling out the training for this, are we able to just request the most simplest direct training for the staff and everybody, and then maybe the eCoach people get the more intense? Because one of the biggest problems with the Brightspace rollout is they were doing things like release conditions and like everything it could possibly do, and our staff's got very